Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? Hope everybody's enjoying their beginning of November. I know that mine's going pretty great. I'm super excited. Something I want to talk about today is the future. We all seem to be working towards our future, and rightly so. It's we want to always believe that we're going to have a bright future. We're going to have a memorable future. We're going to make things happen in the future. But something I got to ask is it always healthy to think of nothing but the future? And I want to pose a question for you that's kind of my call to action tonight is what do you do when today is yesterday's future and we're thinking about tomorrow? See, I think a lot of times we get caught up in always wanting to be, well, in the future I'm going to have this. Well, down the road I'm going to have that, you know. Give me just a little time and I'll have this. We're always thinking about the future, when what we don't realize is that this thing called life, right here, right now, right as I'm making this video, talking to you, as you're watching this video, listening to me, this is life. It's not the future. It's not the past. I mean, you know, you obviously, it's kind of like when we think about the past, all we can do is think about it. And we do it from right here, right now. That's the same thing about the future. We look at the future, but we see the future in our mind. Which that's important, because what we want is we want to be able to visualize. We want to be able to see it. But the thing a lot of times we forget is we get so wrapped up in the future, we don't realize that we're visioning it right now in life. Life is not in the past. Life is not in the future. Life is right now. And like Wayne Dyer said once, you can't give what you don't have. And if you're not content right now in this life, this present, you're eventually going to find out that no amount of money, how many cars, how many houses you have, it's not going to matter. Eventually, you're going to be excited at first, but once you get used to having those things, the mindset that you have is going to come back. It's going to come back and it's going to say, okay, I need more, I need more, I need more. And then you find yourself not even happy. You know, I say, you know, look at the late, great Robin Williams, an amazing comedian, an amazing actor. Proved that he could do dramatic roles just as well as comedies. Spent all of his time having to have more because he was trying to make people happy. He was trying to make people laugh, you know. And one of the things he wasn't doing was he wasn't making himself happy. And unfortunately, that's why he's no longer with us, is like we can sometimes get too wrapped up in other things than us right here, right now. And that's what I want to encourage you to think about today. It's great to have your visions. I always tell people when I speak, you've got to have a vision. You've got to see it. You've got to be able to see down the road. But you've got to see it from where you're standing. You know, you can look ahead to your future and you can see it, but where are you really seeing it? You're seeing it right here in your eyes, where you're standing in this moment. That's life. And I want to encourage you to live it. There have been a lot of times in my career growing as an author and as a speaker of going, you know, I've lived too far in the future. I always said, I'm going to feel great when I buy my Mustang. I want a 67 Mustang and I'm going to have one. But I found myself a lot of times getting too wrapped up in it, thinking that was my happiness. I can have that happiness right now and work towards getting the car down the road. but live right now so I'll be just as happy now as I will be then. You know, there's been times that I say, well, you know, when I'm able to build my own home, or when I'm able to quit my evening job and just be full-time speaking and writing, those are great visions to have. Those are awesome insights to know what you want. Part of my go to grow philosophy that I speak about is the first thing is knowing what you want to do, and then second one is believing in yourself to do it. But you got to believe right now in your moment. And if you're hung up, really think about it and say, am I really focusing on now getting there, or am I just worried about getting there? You know, you can look at it and say, where's it at, where's it at, where's it at? But right now you have to say, I've got it, I just physically have to get it. Because when you tell yourself that you've got it now, you're rooting your foundation in this moment, in this life. So that's what I want to encourage you to do for WTS today. Whatever success you're working your way towards, don't forget to live in your moments. Your moments are where your family is. Your moments now are where your children are, where your friends are. And right now is the moments where you'll have the opportunities to work towards that future. Because if we're sitting here and we're thinking, you know, I'm going to do this a year from now comes and you say, well, I'm going to get it in another year. Then another year comes. Or you say, I'm going to make it happen next week. Man, things line out. Next week will look good. What about this week? Because what happens is tomorrow becomes today, and we go from wanting it to wanting the next tomorrow, and it is just a repetitive cycle that we'll never get off unless we make the decision to change our mindset and have a growth mindset to better ourselves in the present. So call to action tonight is just sit down and think about what you want and anchor yourself in this moment. I guarantee when you do, you're going to find yourself being less stressed, and you're going to actually probably find yourself being able to focus more because you're not so wound up on trying to get there. So WTS for tonight. This is Levi Fox, Levi B signing off. You guys have a great evening.